Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for stopping by. And today, did you know that Epiphone made a distortion pedal? So yes, today we're checking out my Epiphone Distortion pedal. I thought I'd do a very quick video on this, as it's not something it's not a pedal that many people know about, and it's certainly not one that you see a lot of information out there on the internet. To be fair, there isn't a lot, and a lot of what I'm going to say today is from memory. So go back to 2010-ish, and you've got 17-year-old Dougie with his Epiphone Cheriton, his Epiphone Firebird. I think I was a couple of years off my Epiphone Les Paul. Really exploring the world of pedals. So I had your standard, your Behringers, probably a couple of Boss, things like that. And for 20 quid appears this, an Epiphone Distortion pedal. I apologise, mine is really grimy. It's really, it's been sat for a long time, but I used it for a long time. So yeah, it ended up on my board, and it got covered in beer, tape, and not normal tape. I think I used some sort of like gaffer tape to try and keep the settings where I liked them. Not really knowing, it was just a load of fizz. But yeah, so yeah, I think around 2009, 2010, Epiphone released this, a distortion pedal. There are, it's very simple. You've got a tone, distortion, and level. I do think that sounds very much like a distortion pedal that we all know and love that's orange coloured. I don't actually have one with me. But yeah, it's more than likely that it was based on that. Although I have heard, if you open this up and have a look and know what you're looking at, it's very similar to the Bellcat distortion pedal from around the same time. So, it's more than likely just a reboxed something else that somebody else was producing at the time. But it was 20 quid, I picked it up, and it sat on my board for several years, probably sounding awful through something like a Roland Cube or something like that. That's nothing against the amp. It's more so probably what I was doing with this, shoving it into a solid state, pedal platform. So I thought, clean amp. I hate, and the distortion was probably way too high. So I used this for several years until I took it off one day, probably because I realised that it didn't sound amazing how I was running it. So I thought I'd do a video on it and just show you guys what it sounds like for anyone that might be curious. So there's no unboxing because I unboxed this many years ago. I do have the box somewhere, but I don't know where it is, and I'm not going to do an unboxing because it's already been unboxed, as you can definitely see. That's what I've really got to say. 2009, 2010, Epiphone Distortion pedal. Let's just get straight into hearing how it sounds, and we will go from there. Okay, so we are all set up and we're ready to go. Let's very quickly just touch on the other gear that we'll be using today, just so you're aware. So we have again got the Blanche Flower thin line, or as I like to affectionately call it, Pinky. Again, more coming on Pinky very shortly on the channel, but just enjoy how it sounds for now. And again, that's the two True Grit bare knuckle P90s in there, low wound. Then we're going straight into the Epiphone Distortion pedal. And from that, we're going up to the Victory Duchess today. We're going back for the clean platform so you can really hear how this sounds in all its glory, he says. So this is our clean tone. So there you go, that's how the clean tone sounds. So let's get rid of the mic, let's get the pedal on, let's see how she sounds. Okay, well that was the Epiphone Distortion pedal. Am I going to give it a little bit of love and say it sounds better than I think it did when I probably last plugged this in properly 15 years ago? Maybe, slightly 10 years ago. Yes, I do think it sounds better than last time I plugged this in and probably had it set up on my board. Do I think that's because of me as a player and the gear that I have around me in comparison to the time, and also what I know as a player as well? Yeah, probably as well. I'm not shoving it into the front of a solid state beginner amplifier. I am now putting it through what I deem to be quite a nice valve, clean pedal platform Fender style amp. And also, I understand that everything at 10 is not the way to go pretty much with anything unless you've got a Marshall Plexi. And very few of us are able to go all to 10 if we don't want the noise complaints. So, yes, I do think it sounds better than last time I plugged it in. Is this going to suddenly find its way onto my pedal board? Absolutely not. No, this is going straight back on the shelf for another 10 years, where I'll probably do another video about how they're rare and sought after now. Somebody on the internet will probably say about how it sounds amazing for X and Y and suddenly be worth 200 quid. That's probably the next time I'll do another one of these videos. However, is it something that I might take into a studio or mess around with at home whilst recording our own stuff to get specific types of tone, that raw, not very nice 90s grunge tone, something along those lines? Yes, absolutely. If there's a song that I think it calls for, that I think needs that sound, in all honesty, the number of pedals I have that can do that sound are minimal, so this might be something that finds its way into my setup. But, it has a lot of gain, it has a lot of fizz, and I think you need to really spend time finding the tones that are quite nice. The fact that it was cleaning up with the volume knob on the guitar, I think is a bonus. I think it could be used a little bit for that. But realistically, is it something that the pros are going to want to use? Unlikely. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed some of the tones that come out of the Epiphone Distortion pedal. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Did you have one? Have you still got one? Do you still use one regularly? Let me know. But other than that, thank you very much for tuning in today. Comment, get involved down below. Maybe even if you've liked the video, if you like the sound of this, hit the like button. And if you're feeling particularly zesty, maybe even subscribe. We have just gone over 150 subscribers, which was great. Really nice to see. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone who's chosen to come along on this journey, and everyone who's stuck around. Until next time, take care.